Y'all ever go somewhere looking for an answer and leave with three more questions? Well, I went to the eye doctor last week. I had a little cloudiness that had been happening, especially at night, with my right eye. So I thought I better get it checked out. So I went back to the place that I had went to that had I had gone to before and had declared me legally blind. So anyway, I get there. I'm checking in. They asked me my name. I tell them. They say, "Oh, you're a new patient." I said, "Well, I've been here before." I said, "But it's been a while." I said, "But okay." Anyway, well, she starts calling off. Well, is your address this? Yeah. Is your phone number still this? Yeah. Okay. How about your email? Yeah. Yeah. I'm I'm starting to think, for a new patient, you sure do know a hell of a lot about me. But I didn't say nothing because, uh, well, I'd already been warned before I got there. My sister, who is also my driver and handler at times, uh, had done warned me not to get in there and show my ass and get thrown out before we get any answers anyway. So I kept my mouth shut. Anyway, they gave us the clipboard with a 5-page spread on it, all my information. I guess that they wanted again for a new patient. So we went back to the chair and well, my sister is filling it out. She pretty much knows everything anyway. What she didn't, she's asking me. And going over some of the stuff, I mean, some of it, yeah, all right. That's all well and good, in case some things have changed or some things have been added or whatever. But some of the questions, I mean, why does it matter if I've had broken bones or hemorrhoids or whatever for my eyes? But like I said, I'm trying to remain calm and be hopeful. So I went along with it. Anyway, I guess my sister was starting to kind of get a little uneasy with me. She said, "Can you get this back up there to him by yourself?" I said, "Yeah." So I got back up there. And, she took it. She said, "I'm gonna need a copy of your insurance card." And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Pulled it out, and your photo ID too. Well, I'm a thinking, all right, you know all this about me, but okay, got to have my photo ID. Make sure it's me. So I did. Paid my copay. Went back, sat down, and we was settled in for a long week because the last time we went, we were there for 6 hours. So I done nestled in my chair there, hooked up to their Wi-Fi just in case, and I just kind of eased back. I didn't sleep much the night before. I have insomnia too. That's a different talk show. Anyway, they called me back there to the first exam room, I guess, for the preliminary investigation, whatever they want to call it. So I went back there. That girl, she sat me down in the chair. She was going over, "Okay, you're a new patient." There again. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, y'all have me as one, but I've been here before. Y'all, you know, declared me legally blind. That's all well and good. I'll come to terms with that." She said, "Well, you haven't been here since 2021." I'm like, "Well, you know a hell of a lot about me too." And I said something. I said, "Well," I said, "now if you know all that," I said, "how am I a new patient?" She said, "Well, we have access to some of the records. We've updated our system, but we don't have access to all the records." And I said, "Well," I said, "if you fix my eyes or give me a magnifying glass," I said, "and let me at that computer," I said, "I'll let you in on all the daggum information that you want." I seen my sister over there. She kind of nestled up, so I shut up. So the girl came over and she had me lean in there in that machine. She said, "Look at the little dot." I knew what was coming. They shot that bright light in my eye, bright enough to signal Batman, I reckon. Then they done it. She done it about 2 more times. Then we had to switch eye. Then had to lean back, and she put this kind of drop in there. I was wiping it away, and she was leaning my head back, putting some other drops in there. And she said, "We'll give that a couple of minutes." And her couple of minutes and my couple of minutes, two different things, because she picked up this ink pen looking thing and was poking around on my eyeball. And I couldn't even wear contacts back before all of this. I can't have nothing going toward my eye. I can't put eye drops in it or nothing. So I'm sitting there and she's holding my eye open with a death grip, poking around on it. She got done with that and she slapped this little old thing up there over my eye and she said, "Okay, look at the chart out here on the wall." I said, "Here we go." So this thing had little old holes in it that looked like Swiss cheese. And she's like, "Well, move it around your eye till you can see, or whichever one looks better." And I'm like, "What happened to the little clickety click things? Better, worse, but So anyway, I was doing all that. I didn't know I had to go there and work, but anyway, I was looking over there. I looked like I was flagging down ships trying to find the hole, so I could see what little old chart over there on the wall. I done the best I could. We got out of there, went back to the waiting room, waiting to see the doctor. And it wasn't that long. I was pleasantly surprised. So we get back there, and he's coming in there reading my chart. He's like, "Oh," he says, uh, "what's going on with you?" I said, "Well, it's like I told the other little old gal." I said, "Got some cloudiness." I said, "I'm kind of concerned with. Didn't know what's going on, so I'm here." He said, "Well, I told you last time I couldn't do nothing for you." And I went, "Yeah, I understand all that." I said, "But this here's new." So he said, "Okay, let's have a look." So he had me lean into this contraption and he shot the air in there. That's lovely. By that time, the feeling's coming back in, so that was even double pleasure. So leaned back from there and was wiping my eyes for that, putting my sunglasses back on. Because lights bother my eyes. That's the reason I wear shades for one. I've always wore tinted glasses back when I could wear glasses. But so he said, "Well," he said, "yeah." He said, "The right eye has gotten worse." Well, yeah, they've both gotten worse. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I said, "I didn't know if I had cataract or whatever." He said, "Well," he said, "for a man your age," he said, "the cataract ain't that bad." I said, "Well, okay. So that ain't it. So what's going on?" He said, "Well," he said, "if you look here," and he was pointing at a daggum 15-inch monitor about 5 feet away from me, and I'm like, "Doc." Well, I was thinking to myself, 'cause like I said, my sister, she was kind of shuffling over there already. So I said, "Well, okay." I leaned in. He says, "Well, if you look right here," and I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, if I could look right there, we wouldn't be having this conversation." But anyway, I leaned in best I could, and he was showing me levels and graphs and charts and this and that. And then he said something. He said, "Well," he said, "I can refer you on to this other." And I'm thinking, I got referred here, and before that, I was referred to that one. So here you are. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I keep getting rehomed like a stray dog in the pound. So, you know, I guess I guess what you might end up saying is, I guess I'm just trying to find my forever doctor. I guess I'll keep trying. I don't know. Y'all take it easy.